Hello darlings, my name is Sunnis and I'm from Sweden, and this time is time for 20 spooky questions. But first, don't forget to do the usual stuff and see you soon. Hello darlings, my name is Sunnis and I'm from Sweden, and it's time for 20 spooky questions. And those questions is actually from Andi Does Stuff and Makeup in Chaos that did a collab for just a little while ago. I'm gonna put down the links in the description box so you can go and watch the original collab about it. But I thought the question was really great, so I wanted to try to answer them myself. And I'm gonna try to put down even the questions in my box if someone else wants to do it, and they can also tag me and they can take the two others too, so they know that you have done the questions. It's up to everyone to do it if you wish for. And I'm gonna start. Of course I read from paper because it's 20 questions. So number 1, would you spend a full night inside of a haunted house if someone paid you? The answer is yes, but I have already done without getting paid when I was a small child, so what should I say? Of course, if I can get paid for it, that should be nice too, because at least I can earn money on something I love. Yeah, I do love those creepy stuff. I'm crazy, I know. That's why I'm darkly inclined. You know what I mean, if you are. And number 2, which Stephen King novel unsettled you most? I'm not so sure I've been unsettled anyone. And then it comes the question, what do you mean by the novel? Do you mean a whole book or just a novel? Because novel for me is something that is shorter than an ordinary book. But if I need to put something down, so I'm gonna put down a book, and it's Salem's Lot, and it's also a movie, and it's a very old one. Then it comes, which horror movie scared you for life? And to be honest, it's not that many, but I remember when I was very little, I was not even 7 years old, I was younger than that. I remember I saw a movie about a witch that was burned, and before she died she did this typical curse over the time. But back then I was not that old, even if I liked some type of stuff already, so I was a bit scared of that one. I don't remember the title, so I'm a little sad about that, but it's a very old one, and you know it's very old when most of us didn't even have a video player for that type of cassettes, because I had to go to a friend to watch it because we didn't have that type of player yet. And then we go to number 4. Have you ever seen a fresh corpse? Unfortunately, at least 3. And you're thinking, 3? She must be creepy if she's seen that many corpses already. Of course, it's different circumstances. I could say that the first corpse I saw was when I was around, I think I was 20 years old. I was working as an electrician at the hospital, and I have to do some things, service kind of things. And I went down to where the morticians is working, and most people don't know that hospital person stuff, they can have very crazy humor sometimes, and this was no exception at all. And I didn't even bother thinking about that. I know that other people that was electrician told horrible stories when they have meeting them during duty too. And this time was in the corridor just outside one of the room, and the door opened and the mortician came out, and he looked at me and said, "Do you like young guys?" And I was just 20 years, of course I said yes. And then he said, "Oh, come in here, I have a fresh one." And I looked at him and said, "Unfortunately, I do love them with a pulse." But that was the first time. The second time was not a nice one, because I was in an accident, a bad traffic accident, 2001. And unfortunately my boyfriend at the time died. I was there too for a while, but he died, and I saw his body when I came back, and I was screaming. I have lots of pain too, but I was screaming more that I didn't want to accept, because I somehow already knew he was gone, but at the same time I didn't want to accept that. The third time was also a sad thing, because I was a little older then. I was closer to my 40th, over 40 years old, and we went home in the middle of the night after a party, and we passed a very high bridge under that one, and usually people used to take suicide, but they did it on the other side of the river. But this time the person was laying down on the road in where people are overtaking the slower traffic. So we had to stop. First we didn't believe what we saw, so we had to reverse and look. Yeah, is this body? And we could already tell that that person can't be alive because of how the body looked like. I'm not gonna go into details, but it took very long time before we could convince the SOS that it actually was a real alarm about a dead body on the road. So yes, I have seen dead corpses. And number 5, in the zombie apocalypse, what would be your weapon of choice? I think a big machete or something. Unfortunately, I'm gonna damage myself more than the zombie, but that's another story. And then we got to number 6. Would you buy a doll that you knew was haunted? Yes, yes, yes. Because I want one. But at the same time, it depends on in which way it was haunted, because my life can be miserable sometimes anyway, so if a doll gonna make even more for me, so maybe I'm gonna take one more think about it, but yes. 7. Who is your favorite fictional serial killer? And I have to think about it for a while, but if I have to take a choice of a certain type of person, so it should be Freddy Krueger. At least he's more charming than some of them too. And when I see the actor in real life when being on that type of events, so he's a very nice person too. So even if it's Freddy Krueger in the movies, so I'd still love that one. And 8, how long do you think you would last in a horror movie? Hopefully I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be stalked for at least 40 years. No, that was a little too much, because I'm pretty old right now, so that should mean that if I'm still alive around my 90s, 100 years, so it should not be that hard to actually do anything with me, because I probably will not be able to move around that much. But I hope at least I'm gonna survive longer than the most. But with my luck and my bit that I'm a bit clumsy sometimes too, so I probably should die very early. Hopefully not the first one, even if I'm blonde. Then we go to number 9. What is the scariest Halloween costume you have ever seen? And honest, I'm not sure I've seen directly scary Halloween costume, but if it comes to watching Face Off, when I do this type of FX makeup, then you can see a lot of crazy and scary stuff. But it's not like scary for me, because I love that type of thing, so it's hard to scare me in that type of way. 10. What is the scariest Halloween costume you have ever worn? I'm not sure. I think I'm that scary, but I think that most scary have been when I had a lot of FX makeup on, especially when I had one year I had scratches on the shin. I had my throat, a big wound there, and I even have one on top of my hand. So people were thinking, because I had really succeeded at it, were doing my FX makeup, so they thought it was yucky because it looked real. At least when you look fast on it, when you come around and not go too close and take a look, so you might see that it's not real. But it was a really great job that year. And then we come to 11. Would you rather get bitten by a vampire or bitten by a zombie? tough question because I love vampires, but I do think zombies have their charm too in that type of way because they are a little hard to get rid of too. But if I need to pick one, I should take a vampire because at least I have the chance to get back and look fantastic, fabulous, and still go hunting other people. You know, not everyone can get to other person's neck or wrist or something that easy. But when it comes to zombie, what should say that it should just bit me? He might even trash me, take my everything out from my body. So it's not sure I even come back as a zombie. You know what I mean? Then we go to 12. Have you ever walked through a graveyard or a forest late at night? Stupid question if you know me, especially if you know my background as a child. I walked alone a lot, even through the forest. I live in a forest too for some years ago in a little house. And if you have seen all those horror movies, you always see that a lake close by. You're in the forest, no neighbor that close, and you're alone. That's me in my little house I was living in for some years ago. And no, I'm not that scared because I thought that was very cozy too. And I was used to walk through paths when it was dark because we didn't have that type of lights on the streets. And sometimes I even walked through the forest itself on the path. And when it comes to graveyards, I do like to go and walk that too when it's dark, but some people might call on the police or something if they notice that because they think there's something goes on. And you know, not everybody understands that people actually can enjoy being on a graveyard even when it's late, and if it's been moonlight too, it's gonna be fascinating. I love graveyards. And 13. Are you afraid of clowns? Answer, simple, no. But it don't mean I like clowns. Some are pretty, but the most clowns I don't like really. But I'm not afraid of clowns. 14. Who is your favorite horror author? And to mention some is Stephen King, Dean Koontz, Clive Barker, and Anne Rice. But I don't remember much more names right now because I have not directly reading that much the latest years. So, and all my books are stored in the basement too, so I can't really go through and see the name on the authors directly. That is because then I have to lift everything out. But my books are either horror or like about ninjas, geishas, and other type of things, witches, werewolves, you know, that type of stuff. So that's what I'm mostly reading. Or when it comes to other things like reading about tarot cards and other magical stuff and witchy stuff, you know. 15. Are you convinced that ghosts exist? Very simple, yes. Because I have seen a lot through the years, especially when I was a kid. I've been in a haunted house where we saw different things. I've been on other places too, and other things around myself that makes me, why shouldn't they exist? Why should only a living person exist? 16. Would you agree to participate in a seance? I would love to be in one. And I mean one that is serious, not one that is like on a movie or like we just pretend to take money from that person. I really want to be on a real seance. You know the difference, I hope. And 17. Does the sight of blood make you squeamish? Nope. Why should it? I love when it grows when it comes to FX makeup. Scary. 18. Have you ever had an unexplainable experience with the supernatural? Yes. Many times. But it's always people that say those things never exist and you need to prove it. But that's not the way I work. So I believe in them. Because I have been there. 19. Do you believe in any mythical monsters like chupacabras? I'm not sure if that was the right. or shadow people. Of course I do. Like I said before, I have seen things. I also know that native people believe in a lot of things, no matter where in the world you are. And I think the most things, when it comes to the bottom, have a base in reality. And I think it's so much in the world, and even in the oceans or in the universum, that we never seen before. So what should I say, that we are alone with some pets or some fishes and that type of things that we already knew about, when we still are exploring new stuff even today. So what should say that those things don't exist just because we haven't seen them yet? We haven't dived that deep in the ocean, so we can know what's on the bottom, or even under the bottom in the ocean. See? And when it comes to other places, have we really explored every part? Maybe they are watching us now. Who knows? 20. What is your favorite part of Halloween? Hey, I'm goth. I'm darkly inclined. Halloween is for me the whole year, but the best with it is everything that goes with fixing yourself, dressing up in a certain way, and the most important, you actually find your home decoration mostly that time of year. So that's why I love Halloween. I wish I could be in US to see really how the real Halloween goes over there. I also wish I could be in Ireland, where Halloween was first. And I know they have festivals now during Halloween that are from that time, and it's over 3,000 years at least back in story. So you see, I should really love it. And like I said, this was Andi and Ash that did this collab about those questions. I hope everybody liked my answers, and even them if they're watching. And I did enjoy doing them, even if this video may be a bit long, but I don't care. And tomorrow is Halloween, so I wish everybody happy Halloween. Stay safe, stay weird, and be nice to each other. Love you all, and thanks for watching. Bye. And of course, don't forget to do the usual stuff. Bye.